Hello, guys. Welcome back to Seventh Man Podcast. I am Chris,
And I'm Kevin.
and guys, we're back again. Today we have a quite solid indeed. We're drinking some Dutch Bros. Quick plug. But our solid video today is going to be our yearly NBA award predictions video.
Oh, yeah.
Kevin, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I think we both did okay last year.
Yeah.
We were close on some. A lot of my players got injured, which sucks. Like, I picked D'Angelo Russell to be most improved, and he played like 20 games, so that didn't happen.
I got most improved. I picked Oladipo, but our coaches were really far off. Like,
Yeah.
I think we may have gotten Defensive Player of the Year. Like, who knows? You guys have to go back and check out that video. We gotta get more views on it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point.
Okay, but guys, we're gonna jump into it. Okay, the first award we're gonna talk about is the MVP. Kevin, what is your MVP pick?
My pick is, believe it or not, the same as last year. I'm going with Kawhi Leonard. I think he is a big bounce back this year. Not really bounce back for anything. He didn't play last year. He's perfectly healthy. I don't see any reason why he won't bounce back.
Okay.
And I think that he will lead the Raptors into being the number one seed in the East. I think that will do it for him. All right, because I think, replacing DeMar DeRozan with Kawhi Leonard is a step up in every way. That's my opinion. I think Kawhi Leonard's better in every way than DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Raptors will, win in the same amount of games. They'll win the first seed. And I think with his stats, his impact as an overall player, just the narrative of him going to the new team and then, leading them to the one seed, kind of changing the tide for them, turning them into a real title contender, I think that will earn him the MVP spot.
I can totally see that. All right. So you guys are probably thinking, and you as well, Kevin, oh, Chris is going to pick Giannis. Oh, Chris is going to pick LeBron, or he's going to pick Kawhi. Guys, I'm not going to pick any of those guys. I'm going to pick Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving. Like, you know what? I can totally see this happening, guys. He can lead a team without a doubt. He was mentored under LeBron James to become a leader, and he can totally do that. He was injured for a good amount of half season, like last season. But guys, what was he doing when he was on the floor? He was leading that team to wins 20 points more a game. He was getting steals, like he was playing defense too, which we weren't accustomed to in Cleveland. This team just is fueled by Kyrie Irving, and when they get Gordon Hayward back, he's just going to be dishing more dimes to him. The team is going to be happier. The chemistry is there with Brad Stevens and everything. And they're going to be number one seed again. I think they really are, along with the Sixers and the Raptors. They're going to be up there for contention. But I don't see why there's any reason Kyrie can't be MVP this season, because I can see him putting up close to 30 points a game, even with Hayward on the floor. I know that he's going to have people around him like Jaylen Brown. They're going to be wanting the ball more. But, there's other things that Kyrie can be doing other than shooting that can accustom to that. But my MVP pick is Kyrie Irving.
And I'm going to have to strongly disagree with that.
Okay, you can.
All right, let me tell you why. So, for Kyrie Irving to be MVP, due to him being a below average defensive player, I don't think he's terrible anymore now he's on the Celtics, but he's definitely not good. And the narrative around the Celtics as a whole is this team is, it's Brad Stevens' team sculpted by team basketball. Even when Isaiah Thomas scored 29 points a game and was really good, he got 5th in MVP. I can't see Kyrie Irving scoring more than 25 points a game. There's no way in my mind, because you have Gordon Hayward back. He's 20 points. Jason Tatum, who should score 15 to 20. Al Horford, who should score about 15 and take up a lot of assists. And then you got they still have Morris. They still have Jaylen Brown. There's so many mouths to feed on that team, and the way they play with the team basketball, lots of passing. I just can't see Kyrie Irving putting up the insane stats that he's going to need offensively to push him into MVP contention.
Okay, so I get some of those points for sure. I get the point where you're talking about Hayward applying assists and that kind of stuff, because he is a really good passing big man. But so one of the things that Kyrie has changed a lot is when he was with Cleveland and playing basketball, he wasn't accustomed to playing defense. And that was just because that was Cleveland's style of basketball. Pushing the offense, pushing the tempo, not playing defense, that kind of thing. And when he came under a style of Brad Stevens, where Jaylen Brown is a great defender, and you have Al Horford, who's also a great defender, Kyrie's going to have to adjust his game. And he did a little bit last season. I think he's going to do more of that this season, what I'm kind of going for. But he has that leader mentality. And when, if you're going to put him on a ballot with LeBron James and Kawhi Leonard, if you put those three just randomly on a ballot, and the Celtics are the 1 seed, and you see that Kyrie, even if he doesn't score 25 points a game, it's kind of like hard to not give him those votes just because of where his team is at and how much he's been able to give to that team effort on the offensive and defensive end. But I can definitely see your points, though.
I just think that for him to be MVP, being the average to below average defensive player, he needs to be the clear best offensive player in the league. And remember 2 years ago when James Harden averaged 32 points and 8 assists, he didn't win MVP. I don't think he's any worse of a defensive player than Kyrie. Mm-hmm. So I think the comparison there, it's like, can Kyrie really put up more than 30 points and 8 assists? I don't think there's any chance.
But hold off that point on James Harden, though. That's not the reason that James Harden didn't win MVP is not because of the points that he put up or that kind of stuff. It was because there was one other person that was up for MVP contention that was just more worthy of it. But that was just to test that point. I guess we'll just have to see because you make some good points. I think we both do, in my opinion. But
I think it'll be like, I can definitely see him being a top 5 guy. I just don't think he'll have enough to win.
I really say this with a vengeance. I think Kyrie is like the best. So he's top 3, if not the best pure point guard in the league with Chris Paul and like Steph Curry.
I don't really see him as a pure point guard.
Okay, that's another discussion.
He's a scorer.
I think he is the best pure point guard scorer in the league. Then.
He's the best scorer. No, the Steph Curry obviously.
He's shooter. Scorer, getting to the hoop, Kyrie.
All right, moving on.
He's still my MVP pick.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to Rookie of the Year.
Okay. I can start with this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick Collin Sexton of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys have looked up on Collin Sexton or not, but this dude is a fucking baller. This dude is an insane talent on the floor. He can run the floor super quick. He's also a great shooter. He can spot up from anywhere on the floor. He's good at shooting free throws, getting to the line, and all that kind of stuff. And that's exactly what Cleveland needs in this new transition. Mm-hmm. So even though he may not start right off the bat because they do have Rodney Hood and Jordan Clarkson, and they also have
I think he'll start it.
And they also have the point guard at George Hill. I really hope he starts, but with Cleveland in their past and Tyronn Lue, who I think is a terrible coach, I don't think that who knows what's going to happen. But Collin Sexton has the potential to be the best guard that came out of this draft, in my opinion. So all he needs is minutes, and he needs a little bit of mentorship, which he can get from some of those players. It would have helped if LeBron was there, but also if LeBron was there, he wouldn't be getting.
Love is a good mentor.
If LeBron was there, he wouldn't be getting that moment to shine.
No one's getting Rookie of the Year playing with LeBron.
Yeah, it's very true. So I think this definitely paved a path for him, in my opinion. So I picked Collin Sexton.
Just one thing to bounce off that real quick. If you guys haven't seen highlights to his game where Alabama was playing with 3 players against 5 because I think it was injuries and everyone fouled out. They were literally playing 3 against 5 and they came back from down 10 points. Mm-hmm. With Collin Sexton leading, it was incredible. It was the whole last 10 minutes of the game. It was a one-man show, 3-on-5 basketball. He's getting triple teamed on every play, and he still was destroying. It's really impressive. I'm not picking him. I'm just saying you guys should check that out. Yeah. All right, so my pick, despite the argument I just made for Collin Sexton, I do think he'll be a contender. But my pick is DeAndre Ayton for the Suns, and I think that he will win Rookie of the Year because generally Rookie of the Year is an offensive award. It's usually just the rookie that scores the most points and is just an overall just puts up the most volume stats. That's usually who ends up winning Rookie of the Year. Mm-hmm. Okay, and so I think DeAndre Ayton will be that guy because he is basically no competition as center on the Suns. They have good wings, good young wings, and obviously Devin Booker and stuff. But I think I could easily see him scoring 15 to 20 points a game and getting 10 rebounds a game because he's just such a physical, dominant force. He come out and shoot. Mm-hmm. He kind of reminds me a little bit of I'm not really sure who he's a really interesting player because he's such physically he's such a beast. He's a ripped DeMarcus Cousins almost. If DeMarcus Cousins is ripped, that's kind of his body type. I mean, I guess that's an interesting comparison. He's more athletic and less powerful.
Yeah, I feel
probably a little less skilled.
You're kind of going on a slippery slope here, but I get what you're saying though for sure.
I just mean body type wise is similar to DeMarcus Cousins.
Yeah,
being huge.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of body type. But I think he'll have a really volume stats, just like an easy rookie of the year. I think this is an interesting class where there's a bunch of candidates, but I don't think anyone's going to have an amazing rookie year.
Yeah. So I when I was picking, when we were going through and we were deciding who we were going to pick, I was either between Collin Sexton and DeAndre Ayton.
Mm.
I had a feeling Kevin was going to pick Ayton, so and I do like Collin Sexton as it is, so I was like, I'm going to pick him. But I kind of don't have an argument against Ayton. It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard to argue against either.
So it's also, we haven't seen any of these guys, both these guys, play NBA basketball yet, with the exception of a few summer league games. So it's hard to say, but you can't really go against the number one overall pick's talent and what he has to offer to a team where he's going to be getting
it's
minutes
a good
and exposure.
situation for him to go into.
Well, obviously, yeah, he's going to be getting minutes and exposure, and their center position sucks, so they really needed him.
Yeah.
So
out of all the positions, this is probably the one I'm least certain of because there's probably 10, 15 people who could definitely win it this year. It's such a wide open race with so many players in good positions to get a lot of playing time.
Mm-hmm.
That, it's so hard to predict. But these are our gut feelings on this.
Totally. Okay, so those are our picks for Rookie of the Year. Now we're going to be moving to Coach of the Year. So, I'm actually really curious, Kevin. I want to hear your Coach of the Year prediction.
My prediction is, I'm going kind of basic here. I'm going with Steve Kerr. I think that, did he ever win one? I think he won one the first year that they were really good, probably 2015. But he's won one since then. I could definitely see the Warriors winning 70-ish games this year. He's just going to make that team mesh. And I feel like he's always been kind of overshadowed by the talent on the team from how good of a coach he really is. The system that they have on the team is incredible, and he really maximizes the talent. Mm-hmm. There's very little diminishing returns of all the star players they have, which is really impressive. I think he'll get the recognition that he deserves for that. And so I think he's my kind of safe pick for Coach of the Year this year.
Yeah. So I'm really stuck here because I have two coaches that I both believe are going to be up there for Coach of the Year and are going to have great seasons. Mm-hmm. And so I guess I'm just going to pick one, and I'll say my other one afterwards. So I think it's going to be Brett Brown of the Philadelphia 76ers. And I can give you a couple good reasons why. The first reason is because he brought in this lineup last year, and and they had a kick-ass season under Ben Simmons and Embiid, and the people that they brought in. And Brett Brown is no joke of a coach. He stuck around when this team was terrible, and they were tanking, and they were just he was getting all the blame. He was getting all the blame. Everyone's like, Brett Brown is a terrible coach. Brett Brown doesn't know how to coach a team. This team doesn't look like they're trying on the floor. When realistically, that team just was terrible, and Brett Brown I watched an E60 on him, and he is a really good coach, and he gives all of his heart and soul into the team, and it's just starting to show, and I think that he is going to be rewarded for that this season. I think the team is going to be up there with the Raptors and the Celtics in the Eastern Conference, and I really hope that he gets rewarded for that. That's my prediction. So here's my other person is Brad Stevens. So I think it's undeniable that Brad Stevens is a top, I'm going to say top 3 coach in the league, along with Popovich and Steve Kerr. I think he's up there. Brad Stevens just is the most fundamentally sound coach that we have seen since Popovich. Yeah. It's not all about offense to him. Steve Kerr has great offensive players. Popovich has exquisite mindset. But Brad Stevens knows how to get chemistry with players and all that kind of stuff. And that's why the team is just so phenomenal.
He's had so many different teams, and they've always produced.
You have no idea. You never see him on the floor so mad at his team. He's just encouraging them, knowing that he's on their side, and that it's okay to lose and all that kind of stuff. But he just wants them to give it his all. So it could be Brad Stevens. I think it's going to be Brett Brown in my opinion, but. Yeah, I really don't know.
It could literally be any of these guys. There's so many.
Yeah, I could see it being.
But I think those are definitely the top 3 candidates going into the year in my mind.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, but if you guys have any thoughts of what you guys think, or if you guys think we're wrong, or if we're right, just let us know. Yeah. Down in those comments. We like talking to you, but we don't get to talk to you often. Okay, so we're gonna make a quick transition here back to the players. We're gonna be looking at most improved player of the year. Okay. Wait, did we do defensive player? We did not. We're gonna do most improved right now though.
Yeah.
So most improved player of the year. Oh, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is probably the hardest one.
Last
year
there's literally like hundreds of players every
There's
year.
hundreds of players you could pick. We're definitely not gonna be right. I got lucky last year and was right.
Yeah.
Guys, I think it's gonna be Gary Harris. No, I lied. No. I was thinking Gary Harris. It's gonna be Devin Booker. It's gonna be Devin Booker. Devin Booker. Okay. I was literally. I don't know why Gary Harris was in my head. I was thinking between Gary Harris and Devin Booker. There's so many. I think it's just gonna be Devin Booker because like, there's no undeniable fact that dude can fucking ball. There's just no like evidence that says that unless this dude gets injured, he has terrible defense. Don't trust me about that. He needs to get better defense. That's a fact.
Yep.
But like it somewhat is a like scoring standard for being most improved. You have to stand out in the stat box in this opinion.
Definitely.
That's why Oladipo won that last season. That's why
he won. He absolutely blew that out this year.
Yeah,
he got better.
It was crazy. He went from like 15 to 23 or whatever it was.
And he got better at defense. And he got better at
yeah,
he
exactly.
just turned into a superstar out of nowhere.
The Suns are not going to be good by any means.
I can see they'll be 35 games. 40.
I can't, but I think I still don't think they'll be great because in the Western Conference it's very tough. Then again. But Devin Booker has just shown shines of being a superstar, and he is coming into a season where he's already established that he can score 25 points a game easily when he's given the ball and given that opportunity, because he's getting 30 plus minutes. He's just got to produce for his teammates now, and he's got to be able to like play defense and like coordinate with them.
I think he averaged a little over 5 assists last year, so he was definitely improving a lot.
I just want him to improve more, and I think he can. So that's like my pick. It's so hit or miss though.
All right, so I'm just gonna give a little backup on his pick real quick right there. I think that it's possible because the Suns basically don't have a point guard right now, anyone playable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who their point guards are on their roster. It's no one good, like no one who could start. I mean, I heard that they're trying to trade for Pat Beverly. Who knows if that happens or if they'll trade for someone else? Maybe like an Eric Bledsoe type. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to be here.
No, I can see Devin Booker averaging like 25 and maybe 7 or 8 assists. If that happens, then I could definitely see him becoming that. Yeah. Most improved player.
I'm curious to see what you think of who you think is going to be.
All right, so my pick, I'm pretty sure you're not going to like this pick, but my pick is Jabari Parker for most improved player. And the reason why is he hasn't really been a good player in the last few years, but that's mostly been due to injuries, all right? And he hasn't really, I don't think, put in enough effort, or maybe not enough effort, but, he hasn't done a lot of little things on the court. I think a change of scenery, this is the first time he'll be the number 1 on a team, okay? I think he's ahead of Zach LaVine in the pecking order on that team. And so I've read a bunch of stuff where he hated that Giannis, he was drafted, I think 1 year after Giannis, but, Giannis was a nobody, and he was, the number 2 overall pick. He was the big deal, and then Giannis passed him, and then no one gave a shit in Milwaukee about Jabari Parker, and he hated that. Like, I heard, like, he wanted to, like, he just didn't like Giannis and how he was better than him and how he's a big deal. So this is his time to be the guy to shine, and I think that he could put up a ton of points on this offense. They're not going to be a good team. I mean, yeah, I don't think they're going to be a good team, but I could just see him really going off points-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe score like 25 a game or something crazy. Because he's shown in the past that he can score 20 points, and that was like 3 years ago. And that's not being the number 1 option on the team. I could definitely see him having a very big volume year. He has the entire skill set. We all know that he's all the talent in the world. He could be an okay defensive player. I think that's why he's my pick.
I can't argue with that. I could see it happening.
Mm-hmm.
Most improved is the hardest of these to predict.
It's a shit show.
It really is. So, I could see him being a.
That also requires him being healthy all year, which
that's the thing. Like 4 years. That's the thing with these predictions. That's what happened with Kevin last year. Like his predictions, they mostly got injured.
Kawhi Leonard and
that could happen again. Kawhi get injured. Kyrie could get injured.
Daniel Russell's I think last year.
Oh my gosh,
that was rough.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie and Kawhi both got injured this season. They both get injured.
Yeah, I mean, who
knows?
It's
so
random.
There we go. Jabari Parker. Okay, the last person we're going to talk about is going to be the 6th man of the year.
and defensive player.
Oh, did we even not talk about six man yet?
No.
Did we get two more?
We got two
Let's
more.
go. Okay, let's go through these a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want us to, let's do six man first, and then we'll go defensive. So
All right,
give me
this
your
one
six
is
man.
probably the simplest.
We probably have the same one.
Mine's Lou Williams.
Mine's Williams Lou.
Williams Lou. I mean, last year he averaged like 23 points as a six man. He's the best player on the team as a six man, at least offensively. I don't see.
This is
He's
all
the
offense.
favorite.
It's all offense.
It's all offense. It's just scoring.
Guys, I saw an article one time that said that defense. It said that six man of the year should be more about the stat box than otherwise just offense and like scoring. And I said that will never happen. There's no way. There's no way of knowing. Just from getting rebounds, okay? If someone is like gonna be the best person off the bench other than scoring, it's gonna be Lou Williams. Like, there's no fact. Like, I really think it is.
It could also be Eric Gordon. It could always be Andre Iguodala. That's basically always the top three.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it could be any of them, but I think Lou Williams is the most likely.
It should be Lou Williams,
and it should be.
Yeah.
All right. So defensive player of the year. I'm going a little bit out on a limb here, and I'm saying Anthony Davis.
I'm gonna go on a limb as well for mine, but go for Anthony Davis.
All right. I think Anthony Davis is a stud athlete. He's never quite put it together for defensive player, but I think he can. He can get the blocks. He can get the steals. He's been a good defensive player in the past. I think that now that he's, yet again, like the number one player in the league, or not in the league, on his team, he's the guy. He has some offensive help this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's an interesting team. I think they could be pretty good defensively as a whole. I think that he could lead the team defensively and become the defense player of the year.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so Kevin's seeing this as it's popping up on the screen, guys. I'm picking Paul George for defensive player of the year. I'm going on a limb as well. I think the obvious ones are are Draymond Green and Rudy Gobert. You can make a case for Anthony Davis being an obvious one, but I think those two are obviously the favorites.
Those are the two biggest.
Yeah.
And Kawhi.
And Kawhi if he's healthy, yeah, for sure. I think this is shining Paul George's season for defensive player of the year. The dude does not put up a lot of rebounds. He puts up a good, decent amount for the three position, stretch four, But what is he doing for the team? That's what I'm looking for in this situation. Because this award actually matters for what you're giving to your teammates and giving to the team effort. It's not all about just score grabbing rebounds and all that kind of stuff. It's being able to be that one person on the team that can guard every player, like that kind of thing. And Paul George has shown that he can do that. This dude, I'm pulling up the stats right now so you guys can't fact check me. He averaged 2 steals a game last season. I know he got multiple games where he got 4 steals a game, 5 steals. And guys, let's not forget, Carmelo Anthony is gone. He's not going to have to worry about the spacing on the floor and who's going to guard who. Paul George is going to be that prime defensive defender on their team, along with Steven Adams, because Steven Adams is a good defender, guys. And also Russell Westbrook, I know.
You're forgetting.
Am I forgetting who?
Andre Robertson.
Oh, Andre Robertson. No.
What?
No, he's a good defender, but guys, no. He's okay. No.
I think he's a better defender than Paul George.
Oh, I disagree.
Don't at me.
I disagree. I think Paul George is way more athletic. I think he can run the floor a lot better. I think that he has better hands. But then again, he's a good defender. I think Andre Roberson's a good defender. This is a good defensive team.
It's a very good defense.
I just think Paul George deserves more credit this season. If this team, I think the Oklahoma City Thunder is going to be competing in the West, and Paul George, if he can grab 7 rebounds a game and 2 steals, and he can get half a block a game, he deserves to be recognized. And guys, he could be Defensive Player of the Year. It's a stretch. It's a stretch for sure. But I'm not wrong here, am I? I'm not wrong.
I think there's potential, but honestly, in my opinion, I don't even think he is the best defensive player on that team. So, just from the past going to the season, I think he has all the skills to be.
So here, let's think of this way.
I can see it.
Let's think of this way. So when Paul George was coming to OKC, was anybody talking about his defense? Maybe
we were. That's what we were most excited about.
I wasn't most excited about that. I was most excited to him play alongside Russell Westbrook.
Oh.
But
I was
Kevin was excited about defense. Okay, but was everyone going, oh my gosh, Paul George, such a fucking amazing defender. He's going to block and steal every guy on the floor. No, nobody was saying that. I mean, the exception of a few people. Maybe Stephen A. Smith was. Don't at me. But, guys, they were just excited to see his freak athletic talent and, him dunk the ball and be alongside Russell Westbrook in OKC where he actually wants to play. Now that we know he wants to play in OKC, guys, he is a oh my gosh, he's such a great two-way player on the floor.
Yeah, definitely.
So freaking good. And, like, he's in his prime right now. Like, him and Russell Westbrook paired together with no Carmelo, because I think Carmelo's getting a little outdated. Oof! That's a solid lineup.
It's a good team.
Yeah, I know. But, we got Anthony Davis and Paul George for us. So, those are our picks right there, guys.
Yeah.
Those are solid picks. Leave the comments down below. Like the video. Kevin, I'm going to say next, right? Ring them bells! It's Christmas time! It's actually almost Halloween, but, you can never get started too early for Christmas.
Yeah, guys, make sure to let us know, like, which picks you disagree on, which picks you agree on. Yeah. So let us know all that, and then, we'll see you next time.
Yeah, on Sunday for sure.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Later.